Alright, next is the wheel shaft seals. And I did happen to remember I did not put my shims or space washers, washers in here, which protect the seal from the snap ring. I still have them right here labeled. I don't think it matters which one's where because they don't actually touch anything. So I'll take one of them, wipe it off. I guess this is just in case the snap ring comes off. I don't know. The seal shouldn't be back there touching the snap ring. We'll slide that up in there. Take me a screwdriver, push it up in there a little further. Make sure that's all the way up in there. We've already checked for burrs. We're good there. Now we're going to take that same piece of plastic, which just happens to fit here nicely. We'll lap that on there. A little bit of oil out here on our plastic. And I got the plastic slid up past that bolt hole. And then we'll put a little bit of oil on that seal, inner seal. And again, these seals have the rubber on the outside. And again, the hard part is getting this plastic started through there. That didn't go too bad. Making sure you got your seal orientated correctly. And it slid right up on there. Use the plastic, get it past them bolt holes. Cedar right up on there. I think I'm going to leave the plastic up there until I get, maybe I'll go ahead and take it off. Because the pusher I'm going to be using is the one designed to push the bearings in, seal the bushings, and it fits good over there. And the plastic's too thick for it. So now I got that there. Got my pusher up there. Get my piece of pipe. Slide up on there. And we'll drive her home. Now just remember, we don't drive her home completely. Because this is designed to go up inside of that cavity right there. Now just remember this. And we don't want that. We just want the front of that to go flush, just flush, but not past flush. And actually you can go a little less. Leave it a little proud to the outside. I'm going to put her up flush. So I got a big washer there, which will stop on the face of that shoulder right there. There it is. That piece of pipe is just a piece of 1-inch EMT conduit. Alright, hopefully that seal will be in there for a long time. And again, I don't know if I said it has rubber on the outside, so it doesn't require hardening or sealant on there. Now we'll spin her around. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Get this ring off of here. Make sure it's wiped down. Slide that up in there. Make sure that's up in there. Alright. See if I can find out what I just did with my piece of plastic. My tool. Put it back there where we can collect some dirt. No burrs on my shaft. It does slightly overlap right there. A little bit of oil out here. A little bit of oil on the inside of that seal. And then we line her up. Proper way in. Yep, that goes up there real nice and easy. Now I saw this trick on YouTube. Someone else did it. I can't remember who it was, but I remember I wanted to use it. And it shows you this right here in the manual. So I thought it was something they came up with on their own, and maybe they did. Maybe they hadn't seen this and it came up with it, which is fine. I'm going to start out with my driver right here and make sure my seal starts straight. That's another beauty of this one little tool right here, is its face is perpendicular to that shaft, and it's make sure that just a little push and poof, that seal lined right up, so it starts nice and straight. A few taps with that to get it started, so the seal is holding itself nice and straight. I'll come back with this larger flat washer, which will stop on that outside casting. And she's there. Alright. That looks good. So we got the front shaft seal in, we got the two wheel shaft seals in. I have these two pinion shaft cover O-rings in. I think the next thing is probably going to be the tiller shaft seals. We'll read up a little bit and find out. Alright, next section is we're going to put the tiller shaft seals in. And have one right here, and since it does not have the rubber coating around the outside, I have to put some of that gasket sealer on there. So I got a little bit of old stuff right here, hopefully that'll work. Put a thin bead around the outside there. A little bit of hard crusty stuff. Not a whole lot, just a little thin bead. Just enough to give her a little bit of adhesion, while at the same time trying not to drop it. Wipe off a little excess. Get my seal started up here. Not putting any oil on it. I didn't have to use the paper because I already had my shaft cleaned up. There's no sharp edges and it's tapered, so it starts real easy. Now on this seal, there is a little raised face right here on the inside right there, and I've got a modified washer right here fit to go over there, and it's going to hit right on that face, and I don't want to deform that. So I take one of my old races from back here on the shaft, and that fits right over on the outside if you use a small end. So I'm going to use that, sit right up on there, then I'll put my washer up there and start tapping it. Uh-oh. This isn't going to go as well as I hoped. now's when it would be nice to have somebody here to help you hold the back side of it. I think we got her started now. To lean her up on her side, get my gasket out of the way. Still gonna be a little bit of a pain. I believe it started. But it does not go in as easy as the rest of them did. Nope, she's not started perfect. And that won't go up there far enough. I may have to readdress this. It seems to work pretty good without using the water. I just realized I'm probably right in your view there, but oh well, I guess my view is more important than yours is. Alright, we got her pretty close to flush. Take a chance on this. Use my wire. Try to go ahead and get her flush. Just about there. It's a little hard on the fingers. A little bit more around that edge. The bearing race right there seems to do the best job by itself. We pretty well got her. Seeing how it says near flush or flush, I think I pretty well got her. And go a little bit more right over there. A little bit more down there on the bottom. Yep, got her. Calling that good. I I don't exactly like the way I had to go about getting it in there, but I'm not going to spend a day and a half making a special driver for that. Yeah, that was done. Now we'll flip around and do the other side. Alright, I managed to get the seal in on this side, and it was a little bit more of a pain than the other side, but it went in. We got her down there where she belongs to be. Now the next step is to put the top cover back on. Now this thing is really starting to come together now, and it's getting heavy too. But it's easier working up here on the bench than it is down there on the floor. Just thinking, is there anything else I want to do? I could shoot some gear oil in here, start filling it up, but I don't have what I want. I got 90 weight right there. Yeah, I might end up going with 90 weight. You can use 90 or 120. I think I will just stick with the 90 weight for now. Gotta get the new gasket, which we have right here. The notch faces the front, like so. Also, suppose it matters which side goes up. Then the top cover goes on. I've stripped that down and primed it. Both my surfaces here and there are clean. Got my bolts cleaned up a little bit. So all I need to do now is just bolt her down. Getting close to my least favorite part, which is painting. I do have the transmission case prepped for cleaning. I did sand it down, and the black stuff you see on there is some rust stopper for on the bare metal. And got the bearing faces up here. Got them ready. So what I'm planning on doing is just taping the shafts up, and then putting a couple coats of paint on it, spray paint. We'll see how that goes. Let me get my where'd my wrench go? That's my 7/16. Oh, 9/16. I just heard my camera make a clicking noise. I thought it might have stopped. Anyhow, that's it. We just tighten these up, start squirting some oil in it. Make sure your plugs are tight. Put thread sealer on them, I guess. Keep them from leaking. And I got a bracket that goes back here to hold the hood, so I'll put that back on later. You know, I'm just thinking if I'm going to add oil, probably going to add it through here. And I don't know if I want oil on my primer, so I might take this cover back off and just shoot it straight in through the top. I think I'm going to do that. I'll go ahead and take her back off. Well, folks, it's been a long time coming, but we got the transmission back together. Got all the seals in, all the bearings in, the new shaft. Got all my shafts taped up, ready to put some paint on them. Got my little spring right here cleaned up a little bit. Got that sticking in there. I just wipe her down. I hit her with a little bit of sandpaper, a little fine sandpaper here in a little while, and wipe her down with some lacquer thinner or something like that to make sure it's degreased, and give her a couple of shots of paint. Got some Krylon Farm and Implement paint. International Harvester Red, or bought another shade which is known as Sunrise Red. And I'm trying to determine which one looks the best. I think the International is going to be a little bit red, a little bit too dark. Yep, I think I'm going to have to go with the Sunrise Red. I don't know how well that shows up in the camera, but the Sunrise Red is closer to matching the original paint that's on here. Actually, somebody painted it before. But I think the Sunrise Red is what I'll end up going with. Got a couple cans of that. And we'll spray her down. Then as we put her back together, we'll clean up some of the other parts and sand them down also. Put a coat of paint on them. I did not completely fill up the transmission case. It's probably about a 1/2 inch low of the plug on the other side. I'm going to wait until I get the tires on and the tines on and let it set like it normally will, and then check the oil and bring it up to full, because that's the way it'll normally be. So that's what we're going to do there. You're probably not going to see a whole lot of the painting process or the cleanup. I probably will show you me bolting on the rest of it, and then hopefully once we get the engine on, there is 1 or 2 things I want to do in there. I want to finish taking the carburetor off, put a carb kit in it. It did run good. That was the main thing I checked before I even started getting into this, because if the engine was shot, then I wasn't going to go much further. But the engine's in good shape. Could use a little touch up, little paint on it, but I don't know if I'm going to mess with that. I might just put a dirty engine on a clean tiller. So we'll wait and see. But for now, that's it. Until we start getting a little paint on her. Thanks for watching.